Hello, everyone. We need to discuss these markets because it is getting intense out there. We have Bitcoin dropping below that major zero point 0.5 Fibonacci support at 79,500, and it is just bringing the entire market with it. But it's not just crypto that's correcting. We also have legacy markets with the S&P following a similar correction as well. But let me be clear, this is not a panic video. This is actually where TA starts to shine, because while these drops can feel brutal, these are actually just setting the stage for the next wave up, especially if we get the reaction off these supports that I think we will. So in today's video, we are going to cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, noting their key support levels so that you stay focused and avoid the noise and the fear that is going to consume the markets coming up. So if you're wondering what is next in crypto, this is the video for you. But before anything else, before the charting, the analysis, and the trades, you need a safe and secure on-ramp into crypto. And for me, that's Coinbase. I've been using Coinbase for years as a bridge between my bank and the crypto world. It's secure, easy to use, and it just gives me that peace of mind anytime I need to move funds. So whether you're new to the space or need that easy on-ramp, Coinbase is the go-to. And right now, use the link in the description to get $200 in free crypto when you start. All right, you guys, so I have Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart pulled up for you here. And this first line here with our green box, this is that major 0.5 Fibonacci support that we were tracking for a while at 79,500. And we did get a little bit of reaction, but over the weekend, it has broke that support and started heading down to our golden retracement. So the golden retracement is the 618 Fibonacci retracement level, which you can see here. This is at 72,400, and I really do think that Bitcoin is going to be heading down to this support level as another key support level to watch, possibly getting a major pivot off this level here. You can see in this last price down, in our lowest low in price, we made a new extreme on our RSI. And I have that pointed out here in that red arrow. What this usually means is that that's not our final low. The market usually does not turn around on extreme RSIs like this. We look for bullish divergences when we want to see those pivots in the market. So what I'm really expecting Bitcoin to do is come down for a more proper test of that 618 Fibonacci support. Again, that's at 72,400. And at that time, I'm looking for it to really create that bullish divergence on the RSI. So the price at that point would have made a new low in price, and we're looking for the RSI to build a divergence. So we're looking for it to not make a new low on the RSI when it does make that next new touch. So that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin, kind of one last low here until we possibly could get a major wave coming up. And on Bitcoin, that may not make a new high. That could come up just to test that 90,000 critical level area that we were expecting earlier, kind of like a 0.5 or a halfway retracement kind of correction is what we would be expecting on Bitcoin. So not necessarily new highs on Bitcoin, but a major turnaround could be expected once we hit the 618 Fibonacci support. So that is what I'm going to be looking for, the price action as we come down to that support. And again, this red arrow here is showing you how the RSI was still extreme in that last low. So we are looking for one more final touch down to that support and confirming it with the price action once we get there. So that's Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and move over to Ethereum and get a look at what is going on over there. All right, you guys, I have Ethereum on the daily pulled up here, and this is really a coin that I like to take a step back with on just because the pattern is a little bit unclear for me at this point. But you can see on the daily, after this double touch here at 4,100, we just got this massive rejection wave down on Ethereum, and it is coming close to an 854 retracement. So this is an 85% correction on Ethereum locally here, and we are just about to approach that. So that's at 1,300. That is going to be major support on Ethereum. You can see that in our last low down, we still are making a new low on the RSI. And this is the daily. I do think for a bullish divergence, you may want to drop it down to 4 hour just to capture that confirmation here. But similar to Bitcoin, I do think we're coming down for a little bit more of a low, but possibly holding this next support here. So let me get a little bit more zoomed in so you can see. This is the 854 retracement here in blue. That's at 1,300. It is possible that Ethereum comes down to there and really builds out that bullish divergence that we're looking for. I do not see a bullish divergence on the daily yet. Let's go down to 4 hour and see if that's formed yet. So we do have on the 4 hour one starting to form. So you can see the price has come down for a new low, but our RSI is not as extreme. So this is a good sign. This is what we're looking for as the price is reaching our supports. So at 1,300, that's when I would expect Ethereum to kind of come up for a new high from there. So that is the next major support on Ethereum. Let me get zoomed back out here so you can get another idea of what we're looking at. From there, we really aren't getting too much of a new high coming in on Ethereum just because of how deep of a retracement this is. So the deeper retracement level goes, that affects our extensions. And right now, with the low projected to be at that 1,300 area, we're only expecting Ethereum to come up to 4,500. So just about $400 above its previous high here. So that is really interesting, almost as if it's going to double top here. So you can see we have 4,500 right at that one extension, could come up as high as 4,800, but it's not looking like it's going to make a crazy breakout like other altcoins will be. So we have Bitcoin possibly coming up for like a 0.5, 50% correction. We have Ethereum possibly coming up for a double top, slightly new high or double top. And then we have some altcoins that could be taking off to new highs. So you can see how all of these are crypto, but they really are in a different phase in their market cycle and will all respect their market cycle appropriately. So this is Ethereum. Like I said, we could be coming down to that major support at 1,300, already building bullish signs on 4 hour. We just need that official touch of that price there. And I do think we'll see that major pivot from this level. Going over to the left, you can also see how critical this 0.5 level is here. So this is a major psychological level of previous support and resistance. So the market has come all the way back down to that level. I do think that we are going to see a pivot there aligning with Bitcoin as well. So let's go ahead and get a look at XRP and see where that could be in its market cycle. All right, you guys, I have XRP on the daily chart pulled up here for you. And you can see, similar to Bitcoin, XRP did drop below its 0.5 Fibonacci support as well in this last weekend. So similar to Bitcoin, it broke that major support and is heading towards its golden retracement levels. So it's heading towards its 618 retracement levels, or even its 65 retracement level. So what those prices are at the 618, that is $1.55, with the golden pocket being $1.45. That's what we're looking at. This is the Coinbase chart. I know that exchanges are slightly different on where these prices are. But because we broke down that major 0.5 Fibonacci support at $1.90, that turned into resistance a few days ago, and we are now headed towards that next major Fibonacci support. Like I just mentioned, these are the golden retracement levels. These are very key retracement levels and possibly a pivot on XRP. I do think it will be our pivot. You can see here we have our ABC pattern ending perfectly at that 618 here. I really believe that we could get a strong bounce off these levels, similar to what we're seeing over on Bitcoin, reaching its golden retracement, possibly coming up for a correction from there. We could see this become support here on XRP very, very soon. So again, we're looking at $1.55 as major support on XRP, with $1.90 right now as major resistance, and kind of floating between there. So this next low on XRP, this next low on Bitcoin and Ethereum, these are not lows that you want to be missing out on. These are going to be major pivots in the market, I believe. So similar to the other coins, we do need to be watching price action once we come down to those support levels. So we're looking for the RSI to build that bullish divergence to give us that clear confirmation that we're going to have our reversal here, our pivot up to new highs. So like I was saying, how different altcoins, different coins in general, are in a different market phase of their market cycle. And XRP here, I do think could be heading on for major new highs from this level here, where we just had Ethereum coming up for slightly new highs. XRP would be making major new highs off this support, along with many other altcoins. So I do think that you can group kind of altcoins into these kind of three categories. We have the Bitcoin market phase, the Ethereum kind of market phase, and then the XRP and other altcoin market phase. That's just what I'm seeing, and I can kind of see things kind of grouping up into those three broader categories. So I definitely wanted to share those with you today. But overall, what all three are showing is that short term, we're coming down to test major support levels and coming up for a correction or a wave up from there. So this is not a time to be sleeping, not a time to be scared. This is a time to be prepared on the market. So I hope that this video has helped you be prepared on that, knowing the key levels to look out for. So again, we have $1.55 on XRP, could come as low as $1.45 and hit that golden pocket there. But I do think that we will see a reversal off of these lows here. All right, that's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the DataDash channel so you don't miss the next one. We plan to do many more updates just like this one, so stick around. Thanks for watching.